We're here in June, it's a weekend. It's the 10th annual Big Apple Barbecue. I've never been to this event because I'm really never in New York on weekends. 10th annual. Every year it's gotten better. This is 17 of the best barbecue pit crews in America who have come to New York City to give us their stuff. They traveled 1,500, 2,000 miles to get here. They brought their wood, they brought their protein, they brought their pits. I'm stoked. I love barbecue, and to think that I can walk out of my apartment tomorrow, come up here, and see the best barbecue in America here, like at my feet, this can't be missed. So, Barbecue 101, Big Apple, number 10, 17 crews. Get ready, we're eating. I'm Mike Colameco, chef and food lover. Come with me and meet some of today's most interesting chefs and their crews that work in their kitchens. Real chefs, real restaurants, and real recipes. That's what's on the menu. This is Mike Colameco's Real Food. If you want to do a show about barbecue, it's a 2-day shoot, folks. Real Q takes time, as in 18 plus hours on smoke, low and slow, as they say. So this isn't your normal Friday night in Midtown Manhattan. Streets are closed all around Madison Square Park. Cords of wood and tons of charcoal are getting ferried about, and there's lots of pork, ribs, whole hogs, you name it. As the sun sets and the smoke rises, these crews that usually compete against each other, tonight, well, they're going to be partying together, staying up all night, and making sure that come 11 a.m. tomorrow, when the crowds arrive, lunch will be ready.
My dad, Roosevelt, taught me how to cook a whole hog when I was 11. And we started roasting, and he finished teaching me the seasonings and everything. When I got a little older, about 17 years old, I really knew how to do everything by that point. Down where I'm from in South Carolina, we burn our own woods down. So we make what we call a burn barrel. We take a barrel and cut a doorway up top, cut a doorway on the bottom, and we stack the wood in on the rebar to hold it, and it burns up top. Charcoals come down, which are all natural. There's no processing, no drying, no nothing. You see where everything comes from before it hits the bottom.
You're making your own charcoal, period, from wood.
From wood.
And you can just see it falling down there.
Exactly.
When you get enough, you get a shovel into the pits.
And you fire your pits.
That's crazy. How many pigs you cooking?
I plan to do 24 this weekend, maybe 25.
These are big full-grown suckers.
Yeah.
150, 160 pounds?
They average 150 pounds plus.
And this has to be, you're doing this 24 hours, so someone's going to be here all night long doing this.
Oh, yeah.
All night long.
It's the only way to do it.
Only way to do it.
Only way to do it.
There's no walking away.
No walking away. Only when it's time to eat.
The more I talk to Southern chefs and I explore the history of this, you were really the original American cuisine, and this whole locavore thing, I mean, you know, everyone thinks that was invented in Berkeley or Brooklyn. It's been down south since day one.
Well, we were poor for a long time.
Like Southern Italy, like all those regions.
So farm to table ties, it's not a shtick of the moment.
Survival.
It's a way of life.
Yeah.
And it is endured in the South. If you talk about farm to table, they don't know what you're talking about. If you say, this is the way my granddaddy ate,
right.
He ate close to the farm,
yeah.
They recognize that.
Let me fix you up.
You can feed me any day of the week.
Well, Ubon first, the name comes from my father. He was Ubon Roar, and the sauce is named for him. This was a family recipe that's been passed down from his mother and father. My daddy died in the 1980s. Well, after he died, people would say, Gary, if you're gonna make some of Ubon sauce, make me a quart or make me a gallon. I had standing orders. It didn't matter if I made it every week or every month. They wanted a quart or a gallon every time I made it. And if somebody rode by and saw smoke coming up, they'd stop and want to know, where's my sauce? So I had to cook in secret if I didn't want to make the sauce for everybody.
So the sauce is what built the reputation.
The sauce is what, it's the girl we brought to the dance.
Works on chicken, works on pork, works on everything?
Everything. You know, a lot of folks up here don't even recognize me if I don't have the straw hat on.
You got the straw hat on,
So
we
I have the
recognize
straw
you.
hat, so I'll be recognized.
Gary Roark. When Danny Meyer opened Blue Smoke years back, it was the beginning of serious barbecue in New York City. But this being New York and everyone having an opinion, the barbecue purists said it wasn't really authentic because they did too many styles. So Danny, being Danny, hatched the idea to appease the critics by hosting an event right there on the street in front of Blue Smoke, where he'd close the street off for the weekend and invite a small group of the best barbecue teams he could in America to bring authentic barbecue to New York City. Well, it rained that day, there was only 7 crews, and it was packed both days. As they say, 10 years later, the rest is history.
New York is such a melting pot,
Yeah.
but American regional cuisine wasn't really represented.
Right.
So we really
Not
wanted,
barbecue.
Not
Certainly
barbecue,
not barbecue.
no. So we really wanted to create a place for people to have a little road trip right here in New York.
Blue Smoke, what we wanted to do is bring, pay homage to all the different regional styles instead of being, dedicated to Carolina or Texas or whatnot.
And then to give us some street credibility, we wanted to show people that we knew that we had done our research.
Why don't we try and educate New Yorkers, at the same time pay homage to the great work and the tradition and the generations of people that have been doing this. We came up with this idea of a festival and bring the best of the best here to New York City. In the beginning, I had to convince them to come from Texas, come from Carolina, and this would be a good idea to cook barbecue on the streets of New York City. Now we come full circle 10 years later, people are knocking down my doors to try and get into the event. I can honestly say the best barbecue in the country, and as you know, just like jazz, barbecue is an American tradition, so the best barbecue in the world is being served right this weekend on Madison Avenue.
In fact, our first year we had 6,000, and this year we're going to have 125,000 within 10 years. It's amazing.
Do you guys ever sleep?
We will rotate. We'll run shifts. We've got a crew that's going to work the day shift and serve all our barbecue, and then we've got a night shift that will sleep during the day and then stay up all night and fire these pits.
Because all these pits have to be tended all night long.
All night
especially
long.
you're doing this. We had the guy around the corner that's just doing nothing but that. I mean, this is like you don't
Yeah.
walk away.
No.
This isn't like set your oven for 2 1/4 and sleep for 6 hours.
No, it's not. It's an every hour. Got to make sure that your temperature's right.
I asked you if we could look, and you said no. The
No,
temperature's too
it-
sensitive. I can't
yeah,
lift the
no,
lid because
no,
then I'm
she's
going to lose
sealed.
an hour or two.
She's sealed up.
Know if I still think you're fine. So let me ease your mind.
Rock and roll.
Let's do it. 1, 2.
All right.
Yeah, I'm actually from Southern Illinois, down the tip of Illinois. My family has taught me barbecue. My dad, his brothers. It's always, it's about friends and family get together. And, they're going to have a pastry reunion. They get together, a fundraiser, and they say, "Well, will you barbecue for us?" Yeah, I'll get the meat and I'll cook whatever you want. What I refer to as a perfect barbecue is when you got a combination. I can tell what I'm eating. It's chicken, it's beef, it's pork. I can tell what the product is. I can taste some of the spice, the dry rub, as we call it, magic dust. Then I can taste some of the sauce. And then in the background, here comes the smoke. And then you got a rodeo going on at that point in time. You got 4 of those flavors just dancing inside of your mouth.
All right.
There she goes. There.
First time I've ever seen a sauce fountain.
Just walk it right across underneath there. You can get the amount that you want.
Look at that smoke in there too, that color.
Yeah, they'll be nice and pink. If it is gray in color or white, that means it's never seen charcoal or wood, which there's a lot of places out there
That do that. Now tell me about these beans, because this is not just everyday beans.
Well,
and I
no,
love beans.
it's not. This is not your everyday beans. We got 5 kinds of beans in here. You got your large red kidney beans, you got butter beans, you got your regular pork and beans, you got pinto beans, which is a chili bean, and then you always add a mystery bean.
Ribs and beans, man. Does it get any better than this?
I don't know if it does. If it does, call me, will you?
You guys originally out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Based in Birmingham, yes,
Deep
sir.
South. Big tradition. Tell me about what you're doing. Everyone's doing one thing today. That's what they were asked.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
one thing today is what?
We're doing pork hot links and pimento cheese. Yeah, it's the hot links. It's an all pork sausage, kind of spicy, real traditional in the barbecue culture. The sausages get smoked in our smokers over hickory wood for about an hour to get, pick up a nice hickory flavor, and then we finish them off, crisp them up on top of the charcoal and wood fire. And pimento cheese down south is huge. It's like a cheddar cheese, mayonnaise, pimento, red pepper, like spread almost. You take that cheese with that sausage, it's like, you ever had
caviar and a little creme fraiche.
I think.
Yeah, well, the rest of the world has caviar. The rednecks in the South, we got pimento cheese. That's what it is.
And you're not serving it on a roll, you're serving it on what, crackers or something?
Yeah, you take just a saltine cracker, you put a little of the cheese, some of the hot link, and then we put a serrano pepper and some of our barbecue sauce, and it's awesome.
You got your link, you got your cheese spread. Oh, my jalapeno fell off. Oh well, I'll have to imagine it. It's really good. Needs a beer. Needs a jalapeno. Well, that's the best use for saltines I've had today. Madison Avenue is closed. It is a throng as far as you can see. Smoke rising up off the street. It's a zoo inside the park. It's a zoo. If you think you can sit on grass, you should have gotten here at 10:30 and reserved the space. 120, 130,000 people are going to feed here in 2 days. The best barbecue in America comes to Manhattan. How can this not be ridiculous? Talk a little bit about your style, how you do the ribs.
You know, as far as I start off with the rib, I use a honey mustard glaze. I put some of my $1 Million dry rub on there. Same we use at Rack and Soul. Put the dry rub on there. That's the marinade. It goes overnight. We use dry heat. We start it out for about 2.5, 3 hours and get a good smoke in it and a good color. Then we'll wrap it in an aluminum foil. We put a little apple juice in there, a little brown sugar, a little other spices, turn it upside down, and then we go for our desired tenderness after that. And then our baste and glaze, we baste them, glaze, and we finish them over an open flame. Great.
So you're in Manhattan, so people can eat, besides this one-day, one-off event down here, 109th and Broadway.
Every day, right there, right off Broadway to 109th, open every day, and do a great business. It's wonderful.
And originally you're from where? Because that's not an Upper West Side accent.
Yeah, I'm a little bit further south in New York. I'm a little south of New York in Mississippi.
Okay.
Just south of Memphis.
I specialize in anything that can't be done.
Talk to me about that piece
All
of
right,
meat. It's got a bone in it.
This piece of meat has got a bone in it. We're gonna put some Ubons in here because I want you to try that.
Sauce the family made famous.
It's a family made.
How long's this been on smoke?
Well, yesterday when you were here, it's been on for probably 14 hours.
12, 14 hours.
All right, now it's gonna be hot, so be careful.
Oh man, it's like so tender too.
Don't you hate it? The sauce to me is it's a real good marriage to the pulled pork.
Well, you've got some vinegar in there.
It's
You've
got
some
vinegar,
acid
some
in there.
sweet. It's a good enhancement for the meat. You still don't lose that taste of that smoked meat, and you've got a really good product with the two of them together. Good marriage.
Are you ready to serve 8,000 of these things?
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
This is the barbecue handshake, by the way.
Right
That's
there.
it,
Right there.
That's it.
We're gonna learn that. So you guys are the hog cook's daughter?
Yeah, we started when I was in 1996, and I was 3 years old and she was 2. And my father, for as long as I can remember, has been cooking hogs. And we have grown up learning the trade.
So you're the next generation?
Yeah, we have
Exactly right.
5 generations now at U-Bonds because we have little babies now in the team. So yeah.
And I like to see the female faces in this because it's pretty much
yeah.
a guy's show.
It's a male-dominating barbecue world, but
Oh yeah, and there's nothing more attractive to a man than to have like cute girls that can like talk meat.
Oh yeah, and
it's
just
so
pull
good.
out meat out of a hog and just feed you.
Oh yeah,
We're all over that. We got it down.
Anything.
You know that already, don't
Oh
you?
yes.
We are
We've
like
had many
putty in
marriage
your hands.
proposals.
Many
proposals
from all over the world. Just because, yeah, I cook a whole hog. Really? Do
That's
you want
hot.
to get married?
That's hot.
Yeah.
You will find this is such a multi-generational event. I mean, it goes back several generations in the family. I mean, it's heritage. Barbecue is part of Southern culture, Southern heritage, and when you talk about the history behind it, there's an enormity to it.
Partner here with Jennifer Cole, you do the editorial work for Southern Living.
I do, I'm the features editor.
And I loved the June piece 2012 because it was that whole barbecue thing. There were just so many great stories of these guys and gals whose passion is this thing and this is their life. You know, they're like you know, it's religion.
It's religion, and I think it's really great because the piece really got to the camaraderie and the people behind the pits, which to me, I mean, the food's delicious. I don't want to miss the food, but the people are so enthralling.
You know, it isn't just about the food, and I think that's what we really try to use as our formula with Southern Living. It is about place, it's about personality, it's about pride, tradition, taste, and our test kitchen, and how those ingredients all come together for our recipe and covering food. So you will see all of those elements and what you get in the barbecue content, both online, in the magazine, what you experience in walking at this venue with all the pit masters. It's a really special experience. The food is only part of it, frankly.
In that June feature from 2012, you had a lot of talent. Some of them are here today. There's this one cat who I want to meet, Chris Lilly.
He's awesome.
He's ridiculous. When did you first taste his barbecue?
Oh my God, years ago. And I'll tell you, this man knows his way around a pig.
Tell me about your backstory. You're based where?
We're in Decatur, Alabama. Big Bob Gibson Barbecue. We've been in the restaurant business since 1925. My wife's great-grandfather started the barbecue restaurant in Decatur. And 4 generations, we've been doing this every day, 24/7. Now I'm here in New York City. How about that? The Big Bob Gibsons, we won Memphis in May, the Grand Championship, 3 times with our pork
That's huge.
shoulder.
That's huge.
We've won 8 individual world championships just with our pork, and that's what we're doing today. So we do a simple brine, apple juice-based brine, but we inject it so it gets in quick, and we got full flavor all the way to the bone.
What's on your rub?
We do 3 different peppers. We do red pepper, black pepper, and white pepper, so they hit you at different times when you eat the pork. And then I do what I call transition spices. So that's things like chili powder, cumin, paprika, something for color and something to pull everything together. And then I like to add my signature spices, and I like stuff like a little bit more cumin, some coriander, more garlic, a lot of garlic in there as well. So just line it up.
And that's
like
on
a
the
culinary
so we got lion on the inside, we got crust on the outside, and then we got how long in smoke? Because like you said, you were overnight. So this is 12, 14 hours?
12 to 14 hours.
The key to barbecue is indirect cooking, low temperature. The low temperature, 225, you're not really, all you're trying to do is you're trying to take the collagen in the meat,
turn it into gelatin. Yeah.
And that happens at 160 degrees, and the longer you keep it at that, the better the meat's gonna be. I'm here with Big Bob Gibson, which is out of Decatur, Alabama. It's a legendary barbecue restaurant. 4 generations of people working in barbecue. Big Bob, like in the late 20s, basically started nailing planks to trees and serving barbecue to railway workers. And it grew into this, and 3-time world champion.
Yeah, he's huge. He's a legend.
Yeah, they let me cook with them sometimes.
Which is crazy, because you're a Jewish guy that came out of comedy.
I'm one of the leading Jews in barbecue.
There's a lot. Don't laugh. There's a.
There are a few of us.
Excuse me. There's a ton.
That's right. There are a few of us, and we basically all know each other. But barbecue's for everybody. Here we go, guys. That's what the bark looks like. It's a nice dark flavor. That's caramelization of the rubs. That's exactly a good flavor pork. We're going down now. But here's the thing. You look out here, it's New York City. People get the idea it's barbecue. Something happens inside their gut. They go nuts. And they'll wait in line like an hour and 15 minutes to have 4 ounces of a pulled pork sandwich, but it's from Alabama. No, it's the real thing.
But it's the truth. The truth is they should wait an hour and a half for something that's this genuine that gets dropped on their doorstep. That's worth waiting an hour for. That's worth waiting an hour and a half for.
I hope so.
This, maybe a half a day. Awesome. This is unbelievable.
How are we on swab?
Well, I think what is true about the South is that there's always been a really close relationship between city and country, and the country is always where traditions are preserved, food traditions especially. During that sort of mechanized food era in the mid-century, I mean, we embraced it whole hog, don't get me wrong, but there's still a lot of communities that never embraced it, and we're still like getting all their stuff locally and pickling and preserving and doing stuff like that. So the traditions, I think, on balance in America, they were better preserved in the South than anywhere else.
West Tennessee, we cook at 190 to 200, very constant temp for 24 hours, give or take. We don't want really to cook more than 26. We pull our meat, and in West Tennessee, North Mississippi, those areas, people will come to a whole hog restaurant, and they will specifically ask for
cuts, different pieces of.
Yeah, they want a sandwich. They'll say, I need belly meat and ham meat, or I need shoulder and ham, or I need some cheek meat, some ham meat, And so I'm very authentic. when it comes to my cooking. I'm very proud of how I learned to cook what I cook, and hopefully one day, it may take 10 years, it may take 20 years, but hopefully one day people will be showing up at Martin's Barbecue and say, you know what, man, I need some ham meat, some belly meat, if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Hey, I mean, I told them that. I'm serious. Slaw goes on the sandwich. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's our style. I believe that I was raised that slaw should be put on a barbecue sandwich, a pulled pork sandwich. Man, that's a classic Southern barbecue sandwich right there. That's Dixie. That's the South.
All the way from Kansas to have New York barbecue.
This is so old school. I mean, the more I'm walking around, the more I'm realizing, and everyone's telling me what you're doing here is as old school as it gets.
Very old.
And there's days when you do this when you really don't sleep.
Yeah, they are.
It's like an all-night thing. It just got to be that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. I got to make sure everything's right.
How's it taste?
Great. So it's hands-on pretty much the whole time. You know, there's not a whole lot of chances to relax.
Right, and this isn't baby back ribs. This is whole hog. So these suckers are cooking all day.
All day.
Anyway, this is Rodney Scott. So first guy I meet here, Sean Brock, one of the great chefs in America down in Charleston. Sean Brock says, this is the deal. This is what you have to try. So I'm going to skip the white bread because I don't need it. Just a beautiful piece of pork with some sauce. "24 hours, 150-pound carcass split on all natural wood. This is an all natural thing. This is remarkable. I just saw Ed Levine from Serious Eats, you know, Ed's the old New York maven. Ed said this was transformative. That's a big word, that would be Ed. I'm just saying it's good. In fact, it's really freaking good. And these cracklings, don't make a habit of these. Are we done yet? Almost.
You know, I don't know how many people we're going to serve today, but the lines are long. But the people are happy, and that's the whole thing about this new. That's what brings me back every year. The smiles of people. They're really glad you took the time to come up and did a little pit time on Madison Avenue.
It's hard to explain to somebody how you can have this much fun and work your butt off. but it is. And because cooking is such a part of our life and our lifestyle that you know, I'll cook at the restaurant and I'll go home and I'll say, ooh, what am I going to fix? Because I love it. It's relaxing and I enjoy it.
The question was kind of like, can you cook real barbecue in New York City? Why not? You know, barbecue is not a concept, it's a culture. And that's the hard thing for a lot of people to be able to grasp. It comes from the heart, you know. You put your heart and soul in it.
I'll give you the barbecue handshake. Thank you, brother. Right there, right there. Barbecue handshake. Thank you.
Anytime, man.
All right, one more time. It was sunny, cloudy, it rained, the sun came out again. Who cares? It's barbecue. I had some white peach moonshine over there. I'm not kidding. I had like a quart bottle. Stuff was unbelievable. So on that note, this is my last bite of barbecue. I can't do anymore. I'm full of barbecue. And if you've noticed, I'm picking up a Southern accent. It's a little bit of a Southern accent from hanging out here all day. So I'm just gonna bite into this barbecue here and sign off and see you all next week, okay? I'm gonna make a mess, so my last bite before we say bye-bye. Yeah, you know that's good.